you want customers to tell you if you're working on the wrong thing. You want to be real about it. Is this going to help you? And if the customer doesn't see that's helping them, they should feel free to tell. They should feel compelled to tell you that that's not what they want to work on.
And what I think you're touching a very important point, because before that, we need to be comfortable with not knowing, right? I think it's a
Absolutely
key point that you're touching. I usually say that innovation is a space of not knowing. And I think we were not taught, we're not raised not to know, right? So I think it's important. And that's why the series, my intention is to bring the reality. And when you say it's emotional, I love that, because I think the idea of the channel is to create this space to talk about things that usually people don't talk about. For example, how uncomfortable we are with not knowing, right? So we want to have the answers. I guess maybe corporate environment leads you to know, and how scary it is not to know. And I think the not knowing and the space of what is obvious, we are so afraid of asking obvious questions. So how do you guys see that in real life?
So I think it is a huge disservice, but it is very real that we are afraid in our settings, typical settings at work, to ask questions, right? Because really that's the only, like, curiosity and having the agility to learn are really the only ways that you can explore and find new things, and that is at the core of innovation, right? And yes, there's typically a culture, and I mean, I would say it tends to be pretty global, but certainly it's found in large companies where you feel like you have to portray yourself as an expert all the time, right? And that's why you're afraid to ask the question that basically says, I don't know, I'm not sure, and it's okay to also to not have the answer, right? To say, hey, we need to go explore and find more about this, and so I think it's really a disservice when we don't reward people who are willing to ask questions, even difficult ones, and even challenge the status quo, right? Why do we do things the way we do? Because those are the people that are the real innovators. They really are. They're leading on a path to innovation.
There's also an expected behavior that you have in big organizations, that you tend to call it the culture. And so there's a behavior that the leaders portray that set the culture of the organization, and that gets it flows down, right? So people start behaving in the same way, and following the same type of processes. And once and that, there's nothing bad with that, because if you don't, that is complete chaos, and I'm not advocating for chaos. But when you innovate, that is not how you arrive to ideas, because you don't know. It's not a process where like a sausage machine that you put these ingredients, you get the sausage on the other side. It doesn't work like that. You don't know where you're going to end. You might start on one thing and end on something completely different, but substantially more relevant. And so when you start requiring a specific process and start putting things in a specific path, you kill everything that's outside of it. You kill every possibility, every opportunity of somebody bringing something different. You stop questioning, why are we doing it the way we do it? And when you stop questioning, back to Lee's point on creativity and curiosity, when you stop questioning, you kill that nature of the innovation process. And that's why you see so many startups, because people cannot just stop questioning. They just go do it somewhere else, right? And big organizations have this issue with culture and disruption and a behavior that you hire for people to manage, and innovation is about creation. And so the skill sets are different.